Hey, good morning. It is Sunday morning. I have my coffee. I've got my cool pain is weakness leaving the body. I was going to say the bottle, which actually segues into my shirt. I've got the shirt that someone sent me here. I'm not going to stand up because my chair's all wonky. Two of the wheels broke off, and now I have a piece of wood on the back, on the two back legs, I guess, and it's very precarious. I could go over at any moment. So anyway, I've got this really cool shirt. Says veteran, old time quality, ibuprofen infused. Does that show two chins? I hope that's not a bad camera angle right there. Uh, Whiskey. So it's like a whiskey bottle. Says veteran. Pretty cool. I do appreciate that. The cup, although again, we're gonna get into it. Here it is. It's 11 ounces, so it's not. I've already reloaded it once. So what I did is I took my big standard mug. Remember the fruity mug with all the fruit on it? Made a big cup of Joe, and then I poured it into the smaller one, and now I had to reload. So I've already reloaded this one. So I'm about, I don't know, halfway through a cup. We're going to do the introduction and stuff here, and then I'm going to have to pause because we're going to watch the next black market sale, and that's going to be a lot about. That will be a lot of what we talk about today. So anyway, channel news. Let's roll into that real quick. We had a stream, and Old Pilgrim hooked up Charles M67. So I had a contest. I hate how my mouse does that. I had a contest on who was going to win. I had a M10 RBFM to give away, and I had a contest, and it was picked the closest number. I was going to guess a number, or they were going to guess a number. This is very difficult to describe. Guess a number between 1 and 100. And for some reason, I said 0 and 100. I don't know why I had to add the 0 in there, but I did. Well, guess what the number was? I thought it was going to be obvious. I figured somebody might just guess it right away. The number was 12. Two people, Pilgrim and Charles M67, got exactly 11 away, which is why I think people say without going over often in those kind of things, or going under or something like that. Anyway, we had to have a number off, a big number off, a duel, if you will, picking another number. But Pilgrim said, you know what, give it to Charles M67. And so that was awesome. Good on him. Like to see that kind of thing. Unfortunately, it still has not been credited to Charles' account. That was a bit of a bummer. I wanted to get it out there before the weekend. But that's coming, Charles. Don't worry. I do appreciate it. Let's see. I covered the shirt. What else we got going on? Oh, stream today, probably later today on Sunday, and I will definitely be streaming on Monday from 9 to 12. You see the tiger rotating around there in the garage area. Got that cool victory in Europe kind of motif thing that they've got going on in that garage. It's a different garage. Very cool. I am going to try to three mark the tiger. That's my next goal right there. So I'm kind of hopping around goals, but we've got some good missions. We'll talk about the missions in just a minute. Remember, my invite code is out there if you want to use it. Guido Grind, GUIDO GRIND. That's going to give you a RAM, 3 days of premium, some personal reserves, and I think that's it. 3 days of premium, a RAM 2, and some personal reserves. Gold. 800 gold as well. All right, that's it. Let's get started. Grab your coffee. This is a nice French roast, a French dark roast. It's actually quite nice. I really enjoy this. Very good. And let's get on with the missions and specials. Then we'll take a break and we'll watch live what's going on in the black market on the morning of the 26th at 0700 CST, the 0800 Eastern for you guys that are watching, and then do the math. Y'all do the math for the rest of it. I'm not doing it. This will be interesting. We'll get to why it's going to be interesting later, though. I don't want to foreshadow too much and give away the rest of the video because then everyone's going to leave. If they even came, I don't know. All right, let's go. However, before we get, it's been a momentous week in World of Tanks. A lot of stuff going on. But before we get to that, and before we get to the excitement of the black market deal that's going to show up, we have to shill. All right, so first, put your shill hat on, get your wallet out, grab your wallet, pry it, get the crowbar, pry that thing open, watch out for the fish hooks, and try to get some money out of that thing before the wife stops you. And just kidding. Do not buy anything unless you can afford it. Okay, kids? Very important. Economics 101. Unless you're the government, then just print some money, you're fine. But all right, here we go. Featured VC Firefly. Do not have that tank. Probably pretty good for a tier, what is it, 6 tank. We got the IS-3A. If you missed that for the Christmas boxes, it is there. We've got the Berlin 6 and the ridiculous naming of it. We have a Rudy, the IS-2, and this is interesting, the BTSV. If you do not have a BTSV, that's one of those collector's tanks, but you're going to pay out the nose for it because it's connected with 360 days of premium and whatnot. You know, this is interesting because Christmas now is such a premium day stockpiling event these days. I wonder how much middle of the year premium they actually sell. But if you're looking for this tank, there it is, but it's kind of hard to get at. It's got a bit of a price wall behind it. Realize you're still getting the deal of the 360 days, yada yada. That is up to you whether it's worth it or not. There was a reason I was going to come into here. I thought maybe it was the gold crate. Yeah, this is actually a decent deal right here. This gold crate, 15,500 with extra 3,000 gold and 30 days. So you're getting about 15 extra dollars of value there ish. That without doing the exact math, I looked at it at something around there. Now I wanted to note something for you. We'll see it later on when we get there. There's the premium account stuff. There's the BTSV again. We get to the vehicles. This is where I wanted to note it, and it's something I hadn't noticed until just now, and most of you probably have. If you look at my coupons up here and click on that, it will tell you what coupons you have. So I have a save 20% off 12 USD means I have to spend $12 and then I'll get 20% off. Has a timer. That's useful. And we'll go back and we will know we can use it. Look at that symbol right there. That means that tank you can use your coupon on. If I come up here, I find that there are no symbols. That's because these are otherwise discounted. So you can't stack discounts. If you can, you can't on these particular ones. Maybe there are some where sometimes you can stack, I don't know. What I do know is they have put a little symbol down here for the discount. And these are the standard tanks with no discount, so that's actually not a bad deal. These coupons come out every now and again. You just kind of have to watch for it right there. Tanks wise, all in nice order, very military, I like it. VC Firefly, the AC one, more of a collector's thing, although I've seen people do well in them. It's kind of a weird little tank. The Rudy, the 3485M is plain old better, but this one's got a dog in it, so what? If you got to have a dog in it, then there you go, you got it. The M41D, I don't know if that's been sold since it came out. If it has, not very much, so that's kind of a unique one for the store. IS-2 split out from the Berlin group. Here's a 30 days of premium plus an LTP. An LTP is actually a pretty good tier 3. Look, folks, I do not recommend a tier 3. I'm going to have to reconsider that. I'm going to say it anyway. I still really do not recommend a tier 3 premium for new players as a money maker. It's kind of fun. It can help you learn, but tier 3 is not meta. Tier 5 is where it starts to develop. It's not exactly late tier meta, but it looks a lot more like late tier meta and occasionally can be. And a tier 5 just is pretty easy to play and just makes more money. So I don't know about that, folks. It's a good deal. It's a cool little tank. If you're really thinking about getting into World of Tanks, I would grab some premium, maybe the LTP in a tier 5 of some kind. Maybe do my invite code and get that RAM 2, and then do 30 days of that and grab the LTP, and now you've got a Russian kind of slightly overpowered tier 3 and a decent tier 5. That would be something like that. It doesn't have to be necessarily my invite code. There's other invite codes out there with other things like the Churchill and such. But that would be a technique I would use if I was serious about playing. If I really just wanted to dip my toes in the water, I'd get a 3-day or an invite code, check it out, and then you can make your decision from there. All right, that was a lot about that. What is going on? Specials. Probably the same stuff. I don't think there's anything new here I wanted to note. No, not really. All good. All right, let's move on to missions and specials, and we got 7 minutes right now until the shenanigans of the next black market offering. which is going to be interesting, and we'll talk about it because there's been a bit of a leak, but I think Wargaming's onto it, and things may have changed. Things. Let's find out. Tricked you. We're not going to find out. We're actually going to do this first. Really quickly, D-Day. I've done 2 days of this. The third day starts at 0900. It's nice that they put it right here, 0900 AM for me right here. And the third day will be among the top 10 players by experience one time. Remember, using the historical tanks. I'm using the Tiger to do all of this. Otherwise, you have to do it twice if you're going to use the tier 7 and above. So that's where we are on that. We go over to the missions. And what do we got? Memorial Day weekend. Remember, you've got to put a code in for the Memorial Day weekend. And there's 2 codes. The second one is for the Argentinian Revolution down here. Gather at the Cabildo, distribute the caque. Every time I read that, I don't want to distribute the cockades. I don't know what they are. I'll have to look that up. I'll get back with you on what cockades are. Sheridan on track. That's the on track. There's always a big fish. This is a way to get the Ad Astra camo, which, as you remember, was May the 4th be with you, and the Star Wars tie-in for May the 4th. They've put it out there again for the anniversary, I think, of the first movie, I want to say. If it's one of the other movies, sorry, I don't know. But always a bigger fish. You can do this mission. If you missed it last time, you can knock that out. WZ is also on track. Remember, there was a bit of a screw up. That goes to June 3rd, so you still have 7 days on that. Scavenger hunt continues. I just wanted to touch on this. This is important. It was a bit confusing. Maybe I was confusing the way I described it. Probably not. I was probably completely crystal clear, and it's your fault. So let's muddy the waters some more, if you will. If we click on Scavenger Hunt, you'll see that I have completed 26. That means I've done 26 missions. That's what this card means. Then you might say, well, that's fine. How many codes have I put in? Good question. I have the answer. The answer is this one, which is not apparent, but it does say redeem CC codes, and you still don't have the answer because now you've got to click on this. This is mech'd terribly. I'm glad the information's there, but it's why all that information can't be on one card and say status or something like that? I don't know. Are you listening, Wargaming? One card, status with all this stuff on it. The problem is it has a lot to do with the way they mech their cards and their missions and things like that, so this may be the best they can do. I doubt it, but I'll throw that possibility out there. Anywho, I got off track on that. Unfulfilled conditions. Collect tokens. I have collected 27 of 31 tokens. That means I have put 27 codes in. Collected, right? Not done the mission. That's when you come over here, and I have done 26 of those missions. Math in public means I can do one more mission to get those things there, and that will show 27. And I won't be able to do another mission until I collect another code today. Okay, is that as clear as mud? I hope so. I hope so. And I'm closing in on the goodies here. What do we got? We got 30 and 31. So a 10,000 XP, which I don't need because I have unlocked every tank in the game. And then 30,000. But that'll go on to the possibility of converting. Speaking of, check this out. We have a conversion 1 to 40. If you're going to convert any of your experience to free experience and use gold to do so, if that's the kind of thing you do, then you do you, and it's a great deal right now, at least as far as better than the 1 to 25. All right, that is all the missions, I believe. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to yabbity yabba about down here. Scavenger hunt, player tank type right is standard, other missions standard, and then the premium stuff. All right, well, let's get on with the shenanigans of the sale. Right, there's been a leak, and there was a list put out, but my intel now is that the list has been changed. Whether the tanks have been changed, I don't know, but let's go find out what shows up this morning on Sunday. Well, all right, here we are in the black market. It's very scary. Let's get rid of this guy. It is 20 seconds. The list, and I'll talk about this later, but the list I had said the Panzer 4.5 or 5.4, which is pretty unique, but the intel is that it was the Alpine Tiger for 10,000 gold on the EU and RU server. So let's find out what happens here when this thing clicks over. It is now 7:01. There it is. It is the Alpine Tiger. There's 12,000 of them for 10,000 gold. And one person just bought one. Oh, there we go. People buying them. People buying them. So if you remember, we'll get into this a little bit later. This is actually pretty cool showing this right here, because for the other offerings, the 59G, the 183, the Sextons, that number just went screaming down. Absolutely screaming down. So this is fascinating. 10,000 is pretty comparable to what it costs. Use that, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. I'd have to look at the price. It's very interesting, isn't it? Very slowly going down. We're 50 seconds into it. So I just wanted to show that. We've only sold not even 100 of them yet. Now, I don't have one of these, and it's kind of a cool skin, and I have a bunch of extra gold, so I'm actually going to buy one. So let's watch. Let's see how that works. We're going to click this, and we're going to purchase the bundle. Looks like you get a slot as well. And we will go ahead. You know what? Actually, I've changed my mind. Because it's going so slow, I'm going to come back to this. I am not really married to having that. Let me get back to the store. To having that particular tank. It's cool, but let's find out. I'll come back to this because it's going slow. So I'm going to finish up this video, and when I get finished doing it, getting ready to edit, I'm going to come back to this, and we may tag on. So if you see something right after this, I decided to buy it. If you don't see anything, you know what? You will see something. All right, we're making that decision. All right, this is on the fly, folks. This is how the sausage is made. All right, sometimes I don't know where we're going with these things. I got to make all the little videos and bring them together. And I'm starting to get hyped up on the coffee, so I'm pretty excited on a Sunday morning at 7:02 with the Alpine Tiger. This didn't seem to be very popular. All right, we're going to get into this because this is a great data point. Stand by. Well, interesting. It's 16 minutes into it. I had to go make some toast and refresh my coffee, so I got to reload. What have they sold? 170? 168, I guess, to be exact. Interesting. So clearly this was not a price point that interested people, or a tank, or a combination of the two. So let's talk about the black market just a little bit. It's been a kind of fascinating thing going on since last Thursday that we started this thing. So I got the list here, and we're going to talk a little bit about the leak in the list. So what have they sold? The 4190 GF. I'm looking at a forum post over here. There was 4,000 of those for 5 million credits. They sold out. The pack 40, there were 3,500 units. This is NA for 3.5 million credits. They sold out. So that was cool. That's credits for a premium tank. And in the case of the 4190 GF, a good premium tank and a tier 8. The pack 36 is overpowered. It's very slow. It's got its niche kind of thing. The Type 59G probably had the most hype. There were only 500 units. It was gone in 6 seconds. I actually streamed that, and it was 25,000 gold. So the first three are kind of interesting for a lot of reasons, right? Premium tanks were silver credits. A tank that's legendary for a lot of gold, but still sold out in six seconds. And I think we're onto something here. Sexton 1, 2,500 for 500,000 credits. They haven't sold an artillery, a premium artillery, for a long time. There are only 2 in the game. This one and the LEFH, both low tier. This one, I believe, was in the I keep saying this one, I'm not showing it to you. The Sexton, I believe, was in the crates 2 Christmases ago, as I remember. I got one somehow, and I think it was in a crate. Although it may have been in the old, what was that Halloween event they always did? It may have been in that one as well. The one that had the website, and you had to do things on the website, and then it would. That was pretty cool. I haven't seen that for a long time, have we? Random tangent. All right. Then we have the FV215B. That was the next one, and that's a tier 10 that's been discontinued that you can no longer grind to. I already had it because I ground it out earlier when it was available in the game, and that was for 23 million credits, and that's quite a bit. But it sold out, from what I understand, as well. And there were 5,000 of those. Now, I don't know. I'm saying that I think it sold out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was fairly popular. Let's put it that way. And then we have the Alpine Tiger. And about here at the FV, the leak happened. The leak happened. And we think EU is where it probably came from. May have been RU. I don't know. We're pretty sure it wasn't NA where it came from. And then some of the sites and the blogs picked it up. People posted it on the forums. I've seen it there as well. Links at least, if not the list itself. And the Alpine Tiger, while it was on the list, and I'm not going to get into the rest of the list, while it was on the list, the tank that was supposed to be this morning was not the Alpine Tiger. So I'm not going to say what it was. You can find it. It's not that hard. I'm just not going to feed in to all of that. It's, I guess, it's not really the moral high ground. It's just I'm a CC. I was told to be quiet about it, so here I am, going to be quiet about it. Now there may be there's probably an argument that once it's leaked, it doesn't matter. I got it. If you want to find the list, that's fine. I looked at it, so there is some hypocrisy right there, right? I'm telling you, you should not do what I say, not what I do. No, actually, I'm not telling you to not look at it. Go for it. I'm just not going to repeat the thing here. Because at this point, I don't know if it's good info or not, to be quite honest. So either the list was wrong as far as the order, or Wargaming have reacted and they're changing the order, or maybe the tanks. I don't know. Like I said, the Alpine Tiger was on the list. It just wasn't on for this morning. So pretty interesting. You know, some of those things gone in 6 seconds. This one, where are we? We're at 11,823 remaining, not sold. So we've only sold, I'm not doing that math, but not many. Not many at all, which is fascinating. So I did the math. Talked about it earlier. Excuse me. So we've got 10,000 gold, which goes for, in NA, on my website, showed $43.95. That's 10,000 gold, which is the price of the Alpine Tiger. The 112 is currently in the shop for $46.99, which I think is the closest equivalent. I think it's the same tank, or is that the 111? Anyway, yeah, I think that's actually, the Alpine Tiger is a 111 hull. So somewhere around 46 for the 111. It wasn't in the shop that I could find. And the IS6 sits at $52.09, $52.09. That's US dollars. So if you consider the 112 as the closest equivalent, and 10,000 gold is $43.95, $44, you're saving $3 or so, or $2. Math in public, right? So what, $2? The price point is not great. Now, if the gold was a bunch of gold you got from Christmas, then the price point's probably pretty good. Or you got it from marathons, not marathons, but tournaments, things like that. Clan wars, you stockpiled a bunch, then the price point's actually more or less free, other than your time cost of playing the game. But clearly, it was not enticing enough for people. But they sort of broke their system here with offering an Alpine Tiger, which they've sold multiple times and given away multiple times. Because if you think about it, we had a good tier 8 for silver credits. That's going to entice people. We had another interesting one with the pack for silver credits. We had the Type 59, which is just, well, I was going to say it's rare, but it didn't exist on this server, so that's going to create hype. You have the Sexton one, which is an artillery, also for credits, and you haven't sold artillery for a long time. So these are all, you've created a real hype around all these things. The FV is a tank you can't get, right? Unable to get the FV unless you do something like this, 5,000 of them for a bunch of credits. And then you offer the Alpine Tiger, which everyone just probably collectively rolled their eyes. And the spending right now is a great example. My understanding is that in all the other regions, the same thing's happening. People are just like, I don't know, what's this thing doing here? So it wasn't for credits. I bet you if they'd have sold it for credits, they'd have sold a bunch more of those things. Or if it had been less gold. So the price point clearly is way off, or the quality of the offering. To me, it's both. The price point's way off. The quality of the offering is off. So that brings me then to the gone in 6 seconds thing and the numbers on the other offerings for the black market. I was a bit surprised at how few Type 59Gs were offered. I'm also sort of blown away that they didn't offer just a regular Type 59. You know what I'm saying? Now maybe that follows up. All right, look, I'm going to say one thing about the list. The regular Type 59 isn't on the list, so it's not showing up. And I think that supports my point about why on earth did you not put the regular 59 on here? Who really cares about the Type 59G? It definitely created hype. I think you'd have sold regular Type 59s for 25,000 gold. They just sold out in 6 seconds also. I promise you. So it's fascinating to me the choices that they've made here. I think they made a couple really good ones and some not great ones. I think there were way too few 59Gs. You left a lot of people out in the cold on the number of 59Gs. And while I understand the scarcity of it, it's not that it was a 59G that people wanted it. It's that it was a 59, which hasn't been sold for a long, long time. That's just my opinion on it. The Sexton thing is, you got a lot of Artie players that love Artie, and they haven't been able to buy an Artie. It's kind of legendary. I've got a replay that you'll see on Monday of me playing this. I played it like an hour before it went on sale, just to kind of remind myself of it. I already had one. It is kind of a comedy replay, but you'll see that on Miserable Monday. And the FV, this is something that newer players or players who hadn't ground to it couldn't get at anymore. There was a barrier to get that. And then you've got the Alpine Tiger, which clearly nobody gives a rat's rear end about. So let's wrap up this whole yappity yap about the black market. I liked it. Still like it. I think it's a great event. I think Wargaming's probably learning a lot about pricing and price points and maybe where the demand is amongst the players. This is the kind of thing that's going to be very hard to hit exactly right, especially over this long of a period with that many different tanks that you're going to try to offer. So I will give them that, let's say caveat, that's not the word I'm looking for, out maybe, or at least say that I understand that. But at the same time, I think there were a couple trip-ups here that really didn't have to happen, or maybe could have created more goodwill for the community. And it really does kind of wrap around the Type 59 and the 59G. I mean, you offered a 59G or normal otherwise, but you kept it at such a limited amount. And this all goes back to the economy and thing, trying to make sure that it continues to be a rare tank and is sought after. But at some point, you have to if you're going to keep making something rare, you have to make it available. And I know it's been dribbed and drabbed in for things like Christmas and stuff like that, and maybe that's just the plan, and it always will be. But at some point it becomes a grain of sand, right, in the crack, whatever crack you want to think of, right? It's that grain of sand. It's not ruining your day completely, but it's just there. You just really like, if I could just get that grain of sand. So Wargaming, come on, man, quit leaving that grain of sand there. I had a horrible vision of someone, big guy from Wargaming, coming to take care of the grain of sand. We got to move on, man. Okay, for the last segment, we're going to do the forum post of the week, right? Forum post of the week. I actually have two. We're going to flex. We're going to change gears because there's some pretty funny stuff about the Alpine Tiger, and we'll get to that one. But the first one is my post. That's right, self-serving, my post. Let me just go off on a slight tangent here. One of my goals with doing the CC thing, and in general, was to try to bring a little bit of civility to the forum. Not that I was going to White Knight, come in and save the forum. That's not the point. But to try to at least put content on there that is, reasonable and not in the zealot area, not trying to start flame wars. I will be assertive and such at times, but trying to stop with the whole, one-liners, you're an idiot kind of thing. And largely that's been successful. I'm not going to say I'm always be able to do that. but that's been kind of one of my personal goals as a CC, and hopefully I've done some of that. And I see a lot of it with you guys, with people that watch this channel who have kind of the same ideas about the game. That's not really the way I want to say it. Not about the game, but come at this video game, this pixel tank game, more or less the same way of just kind of trying to be an adult about things. Enjoy yourself, have fun, play a pixel tank game. Don't get too wrapped up about it. Maybe add a little bit of seriousness to getting better, that kind of thing. And I tried to bring that to the NA forums, because the NA forums for a long time were just a bunch of flame wars. The admins, Wargaming, have done a huge job cleaning it up, and that is much appreciated. So, I kind of told the guys when I came on a CC, one of my goals is to do this, or at least work towards this. And I think largely, for me personally, that's been successful. What anyone thinks about how the forums are going, that's pretty much up to them. You guys will have to make your own decision on whether I've been successful overall with helping any of that. But I wanted to throw that out first. So I put a post on there, Sexton gone in under 6 minutes. And the original was just a question, because I could not find the information on how many there were and how fast it actually was, because I had one. And the backstory is, I got onto my Guido 1212 account and I attempted to find out how many there were, but I forgot that if you already had one, you don't get to see the timing going on. So I hurried up and tried to go to one of my alternate accounts that I knew didn't have one, and I got in there a little late and they were already gone. So I came in and said, all right, what's the story here? How long? And, I got some good responses. The point of this, though, this little segment here, after the tangent, is anytime you talk about artillery, this is where we're going to go. All right, I'm going there. We're going there. Anytime, but not like you might think. Anytime you talk about artillery on the forums, the zealots come out, right? And for a long time, I was pretty zealous about going against artillery. I still, my thoughts on it as a game mechanic. But for the last couple of years, that's really been tamped down a bit. And I actually talked about that probably, I don't know how long ago. It was quite a while ago, about how my attitudes about the whole thing have changed quite a bit. There's a lot of artillery players, gamers that like it, got it, all that good stuff. But the point here is, anytime it comes up in any way, shape, or form, I wasn't saying anything about, I just said Sexton gone in under 6 minutes. All I wanted to know was, hey, does anyone have the information on how many there were, how fast it went? But it never takes long before one side of the zealots or the other has to get in there and shoot their zinger out, right? And try to stir some garbage up. Now, I'm going to show these, and if one of you guys are watching, this is not necessarily a call out, although I suppose it is. My point here, though, is why does that have to happen? Why do we have to? And the answer will be from both sides: because they started it, because they started it, because they started it, because they're an idiot, because they're an idiot, because they're an idiot. That's always going to be the answer, right? So I have made a rhetorical question: why do you guys always have to do that? I know the answer, but I'm kind of hoping maybe, just maybe, it can stop. I know I'm being an idiot and it's not stopping, but I just wanted to point it out. So we get down here, page and a half, doing good. Somebody comes in, yeah, this is just one further proof of how much folks overall hate SPGs, right? Sold out in 3 minutes. People sure love to hate Artie, but when it comes to getting one, they sell like hotcakes. I'm like, okay. Well, it's on, right? Here we go. I will say, in everyone else's favor, this did not turn into an Artie flame war on this particular post. And whether that was just because people didn't notice it, or they ignored it, or they had respect for me, or none of the above, I don't know why. I was happy to see it. I don't know. I almost came in and said, hey, why do you have to always start this stuff? And I said, you know what? That's feeding into the issue. That's the old, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot kind of thing. All right. We come down here, and of course it gets, where is it? Here we go. I can't believe it went that fast for Artie. I got that tank when it first came out. I don't think I gave it 5 games in it. Okay, so he's sort of taking a zing at Artie. Not really, but yes. And then, because everyone hates Artie, selling out so quickly kind of blows the smoke back into the vocal minority's rectal orifice. So here, great. Thanks. Echo chamber on. My side, yay, yay. Let's echo chamber my side. This will be great. Come over here. So now we're talking about people's bottoms. Okay, I did earlier, but the sand, right? But I didn't say that's where it was. Maybe it's in your eye. There you go. Maybe, sometimes you get that sand in your. Isn't that irritating? The sand in the eye. You can't get that, and you're going like that. Geez, I think the second worst one, without getting into the nether regions, the second worst one is that one somehow you get some sand in your mouth, and you're chewing and it's crunching, and you can't get that thing right, and you try to wash your mouth out, and then it's still there. How does it do that? It's like a ninja sand, or maybe there were so many in there that they're legion. They really are, though. Once you get some sand in your mouth, there's not just one grain, is there? It's all of it. I know this because I was gardening yesterday, pulling weeds out. I wear my glasses now, not my I have to see glasses, but protective glasses, because every time I pull out the weed, it's coming right at my face, and invariably some dirt blasts me in the face from the explosion of the roots coming out. So maybe maybe I should go sideways with it or something. But you're just pulling the weeds, and it blasts me now. And I kept getting dirt in my eyes, so all right, I'll put the glasses on. Now I need to wear a face mask because now. And then you got the beard, because then a little bit gets in there. And where were we? That was a coffee-infused dirt rant. A CIDR, coffee-infused dirt rant. So anyway, no room for smoke with all that other stuff they have up there. Echo chamber on! And it would be a tight squeeze getting the smoke past their heads. All right, fantastic. Thanks for that addition to my post. That was awesome. Now, I'm picking on those guys, right? I'm picking on those guys. And maybe if those guys were watching this, they've already turned off the video and they're mad, and okay, got it. But the same thing happens with the Artie haters, or the people who don't like Artie, right? The Artie people like Artie, people who don't like Artie. Let's leave it at that, so we're not all of a sudden creating labels that anger people, right? Some like it, some don't like it. That's the two camps. Fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people who are in the middle, to be quite honest. I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing that's going on, and always goes on in the forum. Okay, let's go over to the black market thing. All right, so Alpine Tiger, right? Let's see. 10 of 10 for trying. I have one already. I'm not going to be a brat about it. Okay, here's what I'm afraid of. He's worried about selling tanks to get credits, whether he can get enough. Apparently less than 3,000 Alpine Tigers on the RU server and less than 700 on the EU server have been sold. Holy cow. Yeah, they just weren't selling. Let's see. They started with 45,000, so basically sold. No, his math is wrong. His math is wrong. We go down here. All right. Yeah, the Alpine Tiger, meh. Next update in 4 hours. And he's heading to bed. All right, here's where it gets good. If someone's laughing, could I have some of what you're smoking? Okay, I have to agree, man. So far disappointed. Here's one, not selling well. What is my? Hold on a minute. Let's see where we are. We've been going for a while. I'm gonna turn this off. 11,803. So not very many more, and that's just a post that was up for a while. Do not smoke on Sunday, admin guy. When you wake up at 4:55 a.m. just to see the Alpine Tiger roll out for 10,000 gold. Sad emperor. All right, let's wrap this thing up. All right, guys, that's it for Coffee Talk. I'm halfway through my second reload. And there it is, the Alpine Tiger. 11,803 of these things are left. Here's an interesting question. What if they just dropped that to like 5,000? What if they just went, hey boss, these things aren't selling. Why don't we just drop that to 5,000 gold? That would be an interesting twist, wouldn't it? Are you guys listening? I'd start dropping that, and as it got closer to the end, I'd get it down to 2,500. And I bet you'd sell most of those at that price point. Anyway, not my call. I'm not the marketing guy. I'm just the shill. All right, that is all I've got. What do we talk about today? We gotta go. We gotta do a conclusion, right? Remember, introduction, main body, 3 points is best. I had more. That's fine. And a conclusion. The conclusion consists of rehashing all the things you already talked about. Channel news. Remember, I'm going to stream. I should stream today. I will stream tomorrow from 9 to 12. That's Monday, Memorial Day stream. I am grinding or looking to 3-mark the Tiger, so we'll give that a shot. We did an update on the missions and specials with the marathon update. Pretty good missions out there. I did not mention it. I don't think I talked about it, but you can get some American flags and some Argentinian, I believe, flags. Remember, you can sell those, so if you don't want to put the flag on your tank, you can sell them for 10,000 credits each. Then we had a long discussion about the black market, which is kind of the subject du jour, what's been happening in World of Tanks for this last weekend. We'll see how the rest of it goes. Hopefully some, for me, none of those tanks, minus the Type 59G, were interesting enough to buy. I don't know if I want to cover this. Well, I've said it, so I am going to cover it a little bit. I thought it was interesting. This is at the danger, at the possibility, even with the possibility of maybe irritating some of the other CCs who are also gamers, who like World of Tanks, who just because they're a CC should not be disallowed from getting cool things like this during the black market. But for me personally, this is Guido. Not calling out anybody else, but when I saw the 59G and the 500, and I went, ooh, I'd like to have one of those. I might try to get that. And I thought to myself, you have a Type 59. There's only 500. Why would you as a CC try to get a Type 59, especially when the majority of the gold you have was basically given to you by Wargaming? The whole thing was just kind of, I'm going to say it was a bit of an ethical thing, really, for me personally. I will say, though, if I did not have a Type 59, I would have definitely gone after it, right? So maybe my ethics are not as solid as I would like them to be. But trying to get another 59 when I already had one was not really something I felt like I wanted to do. So I'm just throwing that out there. I thought it was not really to try to say, hey, Guido's cool or whatever. That's not the point at all. I just think, I have always said this, that the industry around the industry in computer gaming writ large, and in particular the one that I happen to like the most, World of Tanks, is really interesting, actually. And the discussions I've had with the CCs on the CC Discord have also been fascinating and very good. So I've learned a lot of stuff from these guys and gals. We definitely have different opinions on certain things, which is fine. I'm glad. If everybody had the same idea about everything, we'd be kind of this weird, monolithic, creepy group of people, right? Humans writ large, or even any little organization. Most humans can't agree whether vanilla or chocolate is the best. So anytime you see a lot of humans doing one thing or voting on one thing in the same way, you got to get worried. All right, that was definitely a tangent at the end. I guess that's it, man. I'm just done talking. It's 46 minutes into it, 11,798 left. So hurry up, get out there and get your Alpine Tiger. I may actually do a supplemental later today. Let's see, we got 11 hours, so it's going to be later in the evening as it gets closer to the end of this. I'm going to check this as we go, and I'm kind of curious if the price will come down. I may end up picking it up at the end just to see what happens there. But that's it for Coffee Talk, guys. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Maybe later today on this stream. Later.